That's what I'm talking about. Ben Affleck is coming back as Batman. Hi guys, I'm welcome back to Movies That Matter with the Viking. I'm sorry if I'm a bit too excited there, but man, how can I not be? Ben Affleck is coming back as the Dark Knight. We never thought this day would become a reality. It was a dream for us, is what we wanted. We were saying that we would take Zack Snyder's Justice League for Ben's last outing as the Dark Knight. You know, some sort of ending, some sort of character arc, and we could live with ourselves then to say goodbye to Ben Affleck's Batman. But we always held hope. We always thought with Zack Snyder's Justice League being announced, there's huge possibilities that he could come back for a HBO Max Batman series, or a standalone Batman film, or cameos in other DCEU movies. But it looks like that's becoming a reality, guys, and Ben Affleck is returning. He's much healthier, he's happier now than he was a few years ago. There's not as much bullshit going on at Warner Brothers. The likes of Josh Whedon, Jeff Johns, John Berg aren't involved in any of these new projects per se, and they definitely won't be around Ben Affleck, you know. So Ben Affleck, that was a lot to do with him leaving. Of course, he had a lot of personal shit going on, but of course, Ray Fisher is calling out Jeff Johns, John Berg, and Josh Whedon now, and I'm sure a lot of their unset behaviour had a lot to do with Ben Affleck getting fed up and losing the hunger for the role. But when will he return? He will return in 2022, the Flash solo film, which will be a Flashpoint storyline where Flash goes back in time to try and save his mother from being killed. We know that Michael Keaton's Batman might make an appearance. Does that mean that Jeffrey Dean Morgan will be back in with a chance to be in this film? Now, the article is very interesting. I'll go through what Andy Muschietti had to say about Ben coming back as Batman for this film. But he said that Ben only got the script last week and he read it and accepted it this week. So that's pretty interesting. Are they still working on the script for the Flash solo film, or is Ben Affleck taking over Michael Keaton's role, or are we going to get numerous Batmen in this film? I think now with Ben Affleck saying yes and coming to this film, I think it's a possibility that Jeffrey Dean Morgan will also come into it. But I remember at Comic-Con last week or the week before on the Walking Dead panel, Jeffrey was asked about the Flashpoint storyline and him returning as Batman, but he said that he lost out to the gig to Michael Keaton. So that nearly confirmed that he was not coming back for more of the role like he did in Batman vs Superman, because it was a new vision, new directors coming into it. But in the end, it's a great day for being a DC fan. Look, for me, Ben Affleck is the greatest Batman of all time. He is the best. He really is. Look, I love Christian Bale. I love Michael Keaton. I love George Clooney. I love Val Kilmer. I love Adam West. I love all the incarnations that we've got of the Dark Knight. But for me, Ben Affleck has really personified the character from comic book to big screen. You know, he can pull off the Ben Affleck Bruce Wayne look. He can pull off the Batman look. Absolutely outstanding. And I'm surprised that all this news is coming out 2 days before DC Fandom. You know, we've also got the news of the Batman logo and artwork today. Also, the Schneider Cut teaser came out today as well. Now, 2 days before DC Fandom, this is announced that Ben Affleck will be returning. I wonder why this is being announced today. I wonder, on Saturday, is there going to be more news about Ben Affleck's Batman? Will a HBO Max series be announced? Will a standalone film be announced? Will Justice League 2 be announced? It's very interesting times to be a DC fan, and I'm here for it, and I'm excited, and I know you are as well. But the bottom line is, Ben Affleck is returning past 2021, and I've predicted this for a very long time. I've had hope. I've just had confidence. I've had belief that he would come back after the Justice League film, Zack Snyder's film, past 2021. So in 2021, we will see Zack Snyder's Justice League with Ben Affleck's real kind of sequel to Batman vs Superman. And then in 2022, we will see him pop up in the Flash film. Now, I don't know if it's just a brief cameo, if it's an extended cameo, or if it's a substantial role. But nonetheless, he is returning. Will it be just Bruce Wayne, or will we get to see him in the bat suit? Will we get to see that Flashpoint kind of ending where the Flash comes back and brings a letter from Thomas Wayne, and Ben Affleck's Batman reads it and sheds a tear, reading what his father has to say about him and how him being proud of what he has become? That will be interesting, and I'm sure Ben Affleck can act the shit out of that. But I'd love to see him, like we have in this picture right here, in the bat suit with the cowl off and talking to Ezra Miller's Flash. That would be cool. A little action scene would also would be awesome. But remember, this is Flash solo film, and Michael Keaton will also appear, and I hope Jeffrey D. Morgan will appear. But more Batmans appear? Who else could show up? Could George Clooney show up? Could Christian Bale? Could Val Kilmer make an appearance? This is just, anything is possible at this rate with this Flash film, especially them going through time. Like, what other superheroes could show up? What other depictions of Superman could appear? It's exciting, and I absolutely can't wait. And maybe this Saturday at DC Fandom we will find out more. But look, Ben Affleck is returning. I can't believe this. I'm so excited. I am so happy. This is a dream come true, and I've predicted it for such a long time, and I'm so glad it's coming true. I just can't get over it, and I'm going to rewatch Batman vs Superman. That's how pumped I am right now. Every time some news comes out about the Snyder Cut or about Henry Cavill or Batman, I always go back and watch Batman vs Superman. I just can't get enough. I can't wait to someday to watch Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Justice League, The Flash, Suicide Squad, the Air Cut someday. So it's just great time. But let's get into what Andy Muschietti had to say about Ben Affleck's surprise return as the Dark Knight. And this news broke on Vanity Fair. Now, this is Andy Muschietti, the director of It Chapter 1, It Chapter 2. This is what he says. His Batman has a dichotomy, that is very strong, which is in his masculinity, because of the way he looks and the imposing figure that he has and his jawline, but he's also very vulnerable. Muschietti said in an interview, he knows how to deliver from the inside out. That vulnerability, he just needs a story that allows him to bring that contrast, that balance. And Ben Affleck is an outstanding Batman, he really is, and he can act. He has acted brilliantly in other films before, truly an underrated actor and director. He's a very substantial part of the emotional impact of the movie. The interaction and relationship between Barry and Affleck's Wayne will bring an emotional level that we haven't seen before. It's Barry's movie, it's Barry's story, but their characters are more related than we think. They both lost their mothers to murder, and that's one of the emotional vessels of the movie. That's where the Affleck's Batman kicks in. I think that I absolutely agree with that, because remember the trailers back in the day for Justice League? You could see that Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne was recruiting the Flash Barry Allen. So already there is a kind of a similarity in what they've gone through in personal life about losing their parents. There's also kind of that kind of chemistry and bonding together that they already had, and that we'll already see in Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I'm sure that carries over to the Flash film. And I think that's why a big part of Andy Muschietti asking Ben Affleck to come into this is because the Snyder Cut is coming. It's coming out in 2021, and now with Ben Affleck possibly available and to come back, there's more of a chance of him appearing in the Flash film, and it would make sense, and it would carry over very, very well into the Flash solo film. And I think it would propel Ezra Miller, who is mostly unknown as the Flash and maybe has bad credit after the 2017 version, but it would propel his performance and propel him as the character of Flash, where general audiences love Ben Affleck's Batman, they know who Ben Affleck is, and then they'll get to realise who this young kid Ezra Miller is. Muschietti also said, I'm glad to be collaborating with someone who has been on both sides of the camera too. He understands, and that's absolutely true. Ben Affleck, a great director, and how I think him and Schneider had such a good partnership and friendship was because the two of them were directors. They could understand how to tell a story. They could understand what each other was trying to do, and I'm sure that carried over into Ben Affleck having more freedom with his Batman because he's a director. Zach would have known this. He would have known that he would have had his own vision to the character as well, and I'm sure the two of them collaborated brilliantly for Batman vs Superman and Justice League, and I'm sure Andy Muschietti is eager to learn from Ben Affleck and for the two of them to work together. Muschietti said it wouldn't work as well for him to venture into the company of other Batman without having Affleck as the starting point. He's the baseline. He's part of that unaltered state before we jump into Barry's adventure. So this is great. You need that kind of you need those scenes together, because it wouldn't make sense to not have Ben Affleck's Batman in there. It really would just leave a gap in the film for me personally, and I'm sure it would have worked fine with just Michael Keaton. It would have been cool in that essence, but I think having Ben Affleck there kind of balances the film out brilliantly. I think it will. The fans of the DC universe by Schneider will be very happy. The OG Keaton fans will also be very happy, and there'll be a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of little hints about comic book elements being brought into it that comic book readers will also love. So I think there's something there for everybody. Some of the Flash TV series fans would have loved to see Ezra Miller appearing on Grant Gustin's show. Maybe Grant Gustin might appear on the Flash film, might carry over some of the CW fans. So I think with this Flash film, there's going to be something for everybody. There's going to be comedic moments. There's going to be darkness. There's going to be just things that people will enjoy. And I, for one, am even more excited now because Ben Affleck is back and will be in this film in some capacity. Andy Muschietti's sister and producer, Barbara, the producer of The Flash, told Vanity Fair that she had worried this might make him reluctant to return at all. There have been some of all sorts of stories and things, he said himself, about having a very hard time playing Batman, and it had been difficult for him, she said. I think it was more about a difficult time in his life when we approached him. He's now in a very different time in his life. He's very open to it, which was a bit of a surprise to us. It was a question mark. We're all human and go through great times in our lives and terrible times in our lives. Right now, he's in a place where he can actually enjoy being Batman again. And I love those comments from Barbara. He is healthier. He is in a good relationship. He looks like he's enjoying himself. Looks like he's enjoying his life. He looks like a happy man, and I think he is in a much better place to return, especially if the other people who were there and involved and were kind of getting their nose stuck into his Batman script and were on set annoying Zack Snyder, annoying Ben Affleck, annoying the cast. All those people, if they're not involved, I think it makes Ben Affleck a better work environment to come back. He's healthier, he's a stronger mindset, and I'm sure he's ready to take on this role. So he must have been impressed about the script that he read from Andy Muschietti. You know, he just got it last week, Ben Affleck, and he accepted this week, which is absolutely brilliant, just in time for DC fandom. But he must be impressed, and I'm glad he's coming back because he's a huge Batman fan. Ben Affleck is a Batman fan. So these are great comments from Andy Muschietti, from Barbara Muschietti. I can't wait to hear Ben Affleck talk about it. Will he address this at DC Fandom on Saturday? Will he be on the Flash panel? Will he be at the Schneider Cut panel? Where exactly will Ben Affleck show up? If they announce this 2 days before DC Fandom, there must be more news regarding Ben Affleck's Batman. Will they announce a movie? I don't know. I'm just happy right now that he's coming back for the Flash solo film. He'll also be in Zack Snyder's Justice League, so that's something to get excited, get happy for. And I think ever since he did that video for Kevin Smith, thanking the fans, I think that was a big win also and a big sign that he might return. And I've believed for so long that he would return. I just had a vision. Positivity wins every time. If you're positive about things, if you put it out there in the world, it will come back. There was so many fan events for Thanks Batfleck or Batfleck Forever, and just showed Ben Affleck how much appreciation that we have of his character of Batman, of Bruce Wayne. So those things don't go unseen, they don't go unnoticed. You put positivity out there, you help people, you put good vibes out there, and things will come back. And thankfully, this is one thing that has come back. We did it for the Schneider Cut, that happened. We're doing it for the Ayer Cut, hopefully that happens. But we did it for Ben Affleck's Batman, Henry Cavill, and those things are starting to come to light because they're listening to the fans and what we want as a fan base. Going forward, it's exciting times to be a DC fan. You got Zack Snyder's Justice League, you got the Suicide Squad, you got Wonder Woman, you got the Batman, all telling individual stories for different people. There's something for everybody. There's the CW shows. It's a great time to be a DC fan. I'm so much looking forward to the future. So much to get excited over. So much discussion. It's a way better time to be a DC fan than it was a few years ago, where it just seemed to be depression, looking at DC news about who's going to leave. But I want to blow my own horn a little bit here. Ever since Zack Snyder's Justice League was announced a few months ago, I had some predictions for the future of the DCU going forward, and I even made a video about it. If you go to point number 5, what does it say? Zack Snyder's Justice League won't be Ben's last outing, and that's what I believed. I believed since Zack Snyder's Justice League was announced, there was more of a possibility this would happen. So I predicted it a few months ago, and it has come to light. Zack Snyder's Justice League will not be the last appearance of Ben Affleck's Batman, and I'm so happy for that. Other points on that list haven't come true yet. They might not come true, they might come true, but I'm glad to just got one right, and that's Ben Affleck returning as the Dark Knight. And I even made tweets and a video about my predictions or my hopes for DC fandom, and first on my list was the Ben Affleck's comeback. Now, it didn't happen at DC fandom, but I was pretty close. I was 2 days off, and we'll get some more news at DC fandom about it. There's some other things on the list that I hope come true, but if that's a good start, I got number 1 right. I predicted that to come first, and it has happened. So if all those other ones follow on the list, then I will be actually a genie, and you guys should definitely come and get your lottery tickets off me, because look, I'm very good at predicting this stuff. I'm very good at kind of reading the lines per se, and to see and predict what's happening, because I have hope. But there we go. Ben Affleck's comeback is a reality. It is happening, and it was kind of announced at DC Fandom. Kind of. You'll give it to me. That's 1-0 to Movies That Matter with the Viking. But guys, let me know your thoughts about Ben Affleck's return as Batman. He's coming back for The Flash in 2022. He's coming back for Zack Snyder's Justice League. He already was technically back as Batman, because we're going to get to see him in brand new context, different scenes, new storyline in Zack Snyder's Justice League. But he's coming back to shoot more scenes in front of the camera as Bruce Wayne, as Batman, for the Flash film, which just gets me even more excited and probably pumps that up to my number one anticipated DCU movie after Zack Snyder's Justice League. But guys, give a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this big news for us DC fans. What was your reaction? What do you think? What do you hope going forward for Ben Affleck's Batman? Will we get more announcements at DC Fandom? Will he come back after the Flash solo film? I think if the kind of buzz is there after Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I think it will be, there will be praise for Ben Affleck's Batman. I think that will also lead in and be perfectly good for Ezra Miller, and the Flash hype for marketing. I think that would actually be brilliant. The marketing, they could centre around Ben Affleck's Batman and propel Ezra Miller as the Flash character, and I think if he gets praise for that also, there'll be more shouts for him to come back for future films. But guys, let me know your thoughts. Come follow me on all the social medias. Talk to me about the one thing we love, which is movies and Ben Affleck's Batman. Until next time, guys, Ben Affleck's Batman is returning as the Dark Knight, as Batman, as Bruce Wayne, and I am so fucking happy right now.